Do you feel like you're being held to a completely different standard than most other roles at your job?
C-level provided some feedback on a new hire. They said he had to Google things and poke around to figure out the issue. I just looked at them and said, yes, that is exactly what I'd have done had I not dealt with the issue already in our environment. Meanwhile, designers call the help desk asking us how to use the application that is within their primary function. Wait, you're a drafter and I need to help you use SolidWorks? No, if it loads all of your add-ins and functions, that is as far as I go. All this to say, even in a good environment, it's a thing.
They survive because there's always IT people to fill roles, and or they somehow get employees who become complacent with it all. At my last gig, my senior admin was mind-blowing brilliant and had all the ability in the world to get a much better job literally anywhere else. But he was happy dealing with all the BS there cause it was comfortable, and he'd worked with our director for years through a couple jobs, so they had a pretty good relationship, and it was obvious he got preferential treatment from our director. That place will crumble if he leaves, and sometimes I fantasize about stealing him away to my new job.
I hear you. Lots to worry about, and no one notices the totally up-to-date system you have, which works flawlessly 99.9% of the time. It's like some people are actively trying to sabotage you too.
I'm gonna quote myself this morning to a coworker. We're being asked to change everything while changing nothing at the same time, to be the last line of experts on everything without following our advice, and the smallest action we take is instantly pointed at as responsible for everything that's wrong with the world. So, yeah. We're infrastructure and not exactly user services sysadmins, but yeah.
Literally in early today for an infrastructure project I was tossed in on last minute. While waiting for a vendor database export I was also tossed in on last minute. And in the middle of another project with our network team. And I still get random people grabbing me about them putting in their password wrong and being AD locked. I'm so used to the stress and constant chaos I didn't even think about it until reading this post. Yes, I am held to a different standard. It's not even 10 a.m. local and I need a drink.
I was thinking of a lot of this just yesterday. I work retail IT management for a company that is pretty old. There is a weaponized incompetence in our management and director level because they are all boomers. They will throw their hands up immediately the second there is a new tech process or the slightest issue that they cause. Then they all pat each other on the back for delegating things to the IT department. I see delegation as I know how to do this, but don't have the bandwidth, so I need another competent person to take it off my plate. They see delegation as I'm choosing to be ignorant and not learn key competencies for my role, so you have to do it for me because I don't know how. Weaponized incompetence.
Back in the mid-2000s I was working as an Exchange server admin at a state agency. One day I was called by my manager to go upstairs to the director's office. I said that's an odd request, I'm kind of in the middle standing up the new iron port. He says he's having issues with his calendar. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a help desk issue. Boss replies, his admin assistant has made the rounds and wants the top guy in email. Okie dokie, I say. I put on my best happy customer service face and stroll into his office. Director immediately starts screaming at me using profanity, asking WTF did you do to my calendar? I am shocked that I am even dealing with a user calendar in the first place, and then double shocked with that blindside barrage just said, I have nothing to do with your calendar, that is saved on your desktop and or devices. He continues to berate me. I finally said I really don't appreciate you swearing at me and I am not going to stand here and take this. Consider this my resignation, and I turn around to walk out. Right as my hand touches the doorknob he yells out, wait. Wait. Little tiny voice barely above a whisper, I'm sorry, please come back and help me. His assistant is standing next to him, hands on her hips with a sour look on her face, glowering at me. I, thinking the better of it and dreading dusting off my resume and interviewing etc., walk over and have a look at his calendar. I forget the particulars, but the issue turned out to be that his assistant had imported his calendar from his Palm Pilot or whatever it was and had duplicated the calendar, and in trying to get rid of the duplicate contacts had basically deleted everything. I pulled a fresh copy from his palm and walked out. As soon as I closed the door, I heard him screaming again. Thankfully not at me this time. I didn't last too much longer there, and a couple months after I left he was fired and indicted for embezzling funds from the agency.
In my opinion, there are several reasons for this. IT roles are generally overhead, where sales, marketing, and many others have links to revenue generation and are treated differently. IT has a double-edged sword of being seen as wizards who know things nobody else can fathom, and also being viewed as modern-day building maintenance. Most of what IT does it out of sight, out of mind, and everyone suffers for it. Many in IT simply don't have the personality, will, or desire to change that out of sight, out of mind perception. Customer-facing IT consultants, even when the customer is your company, in general, don't suffer from the same things more traditional sysadmin roles do. Personality helps, a lot.
Your baseline is magically being an SME in anything that pops up. Then, at the end of the day, you're told you're still not doing enough, and a single oversight or dropped spinning plate will nuke everyone's perception of your professionalism and competence. This is common management gaslighting, and they're diametrically opposed for a reason. This is what allows them to simultaneously tell you that you always have to do more while also telling you that you're never doing enough, which they think will enable them to get as much out of you as they can while also justifying never giving you a promotion or a raise. The only way to break this cycle is to leave and hope that the management style of your boss at the next place you work is one that actually respects the people they're working with.
We changed VPNs 6 months ago. Desktop has the guide to migrate people. Every freaking can't log onto VPN ticket goes to me. I'm L3, I kicked everyone back with the following. Do not assign VPN ticket to me unless you have done the following. 1. Hopped on PC to make sure it's not user error. 2. Verified MFA enrollment/enforcement for user. 3. Check the VPN client is N or N-1 client version. 4. Check they are using the right URL. For the love of Pete, the damn VPN URL is vpn.ourcompany.com and level 1 and 2 can't even spell it correctly. So I got wrote up for not being a team player and coaching people that had been shown 3 times how to do it and no bonus for me. Typical, we never give them anyway because I failed to complete Project X as poor time management left her unable to complete. Yeah, because I was doing L1 and L2's job as well as my own. I'm buying a Powerball ticket tonight.